Hey everyone, video coming at you a little late this week, isn't it? And some of you know why. I did a little community post on Instagram and I might have put news on, I think there was a thread on Mastodon or something where I explained it in more detail. I'll link all that below. But yeah, for those who aren't aware, I am traveling, as you can obviously see. I'm back at Emily's. Kimmy and everyone, they're having Thanksgiving here, so we're going to do that. And on my flight from Seattle to Raleigh, my gun case didn't make it on the plane. So I had to track that down, and I did have a laptop and everything else for a while here. A number of you do, whenever this happens, like I'll post about it, people will comment and they'll be like, "Oh, Dave, you have like the worst luck with guns and flying, man." It can look like that because I'm on like 100 flights a year, though. So this is the law of large numbers. I tend to not post about travel when it's a smooth travel day. Yeah, folk like my friend Gun Bunny and others, they were talking about this. I'm like, no, it's please do not worry about traveling with your firearms. I have a whole lecture about flying with firearms that I've given. It's a smooth process. But obviously this had a bit of interruption on this trip, but I was so glad that I had an AirTag in all my travel cases. That's something I've talked about before. I'm going to keep talking about it. So it resolved itself if you didn't follow the threads online. Everything's fine now. And if you want to see a little quick blurb of like how it all unfolded, here's a tiny montage to that effect. So many of you were following along online with this, but if you didn't see, yeah, I arrived in Raleigh and immediately figured out my luggage wasn't there, which gave me the ammo to immediately go to the office and talk to them. I wouldn't ask this many questions if it weren't a firearm. Is there anyone you can get from the BSO in Seattle to speak to where it's going to be kept overnight? Like what's going on with this?
It's probably being loaded on the flight, on the next flight, or it's already loaded on the flight that arrives tomorrow.
I guess I'm trying to figure that part out. The flight that arrives tomorrow, there's no way that that piece of equipment is probably even in position, let alone being loaded right now. Is there anyone at all we can get word right now of where this case is or how it's being supervised? That's my main question.
It's probably just waiting to be boarded on the flight.
I understand it probably is,
Yeah.
but with the missing firearm, it's the kind of thing where if we can get anyone on a call,
Yeah.
I would love to get that information a little more specific. All right, that's the flight.
Meaning it's going to be put on that flight.
Okay.
So it's just waiting. But that's where it's at. That's the track. That's the last status of it.
All right. Does it say what happened to it? Like prior to this? Like why?
Well, I guess it was either left behind or I don't think it was too much baggage because they don't. I mean, I know they go by weight restrictions, so
Yeah.
sometimes they have to take off bags, but I don't know if they actually do that without notifying you guys.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm 100K. It's an orange tag. It's
Yeah.
and it's a gun. You're not supposed to separate a gun from a passenger.
Right. So that's or it could just be a mishap on their end. Yeah, I'm only limited to what I can do. I can search for bags and
All right.
I'll tell you where it's at.
I will jot it down. All right. Hopefully everything.
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow.
Okay. And then do you know? Does it like about how long do you do one big delivery per day or?
Yeah, they usually go by one delivery today. He just came and picked it up. Actually, two that was there.
Okay.
It came about 6 something, so I guess it will definitely be when the flight comes.
Okay.
He'll take it.
So that evening, I got the normal sort of follow-up automated emails saying, yes, of course, you're a valued customer. We're going to look for your bag. It'll be on its way as soon as possible. Follow these links for more information, which weren't that helpful. But I had the AirTag, so I was able to go to sleep very soundly. And imagine my delight when the next morning I woke up and Tara informed me, hey, your bag's actually already on the ground there in North Carolina.
The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up. Hello, this message is for Kayleen. I flew in last night from Seattle to RDU. I had one of my 2 pieces of luggage delivered to me right there on the belt. The other one, a firearm case, was missing and ultimately determined to have never left Seattle. I see that it has arrived in, it's currently in Raleigh Airport, so it must have been put on an overnight flight, I presume with partner carriers like American maybe. But yeah, obviously, firearm, want to get my hands back on that and get positive control over it sooner rather than later. So if you can give me a call back to verify that you in fact do have it and when it will be delivered, that would be great. Thank you so much. And mere minutes later, she called me back. I think you were returning my call about the luggage.
Yes. So your luggage will be in this afternoon, and once we receive your luggage, we can give you a call so you can come pick it up.
Yeah, it's already there though. The AirTag shows that it has arrived this morning.
Okay. So I'm not at the airport at the moment. Let me give
Sure.
them a call and find out when you. Hey.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye now. Are you catching that? Their system doesn't have the kind of information that we could see with an AirTag.
So we have your firearm in our possession.
Okay.
We will be in at 3:30, so you're able to pick it up at 3:30 today.
Okay. And if we're going to stick with the delivery option, what time would that be?
Because it is a firearm, we are not able to deliver it.
Okay, why is that?
It's something that the FAA said and it's in our Alaska handbook as well.
It is a peculiar thing because I've had firearms delivered several times when they have been lost in the past. So I'm a little confused on the FAA idea there.
I can reach out to one of the other managers and find out if they're okay with it, but we're not supposed to.
Okay, I do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I would have had to have made very different arrangements.
Okay, I do apologize. Typically, we're not supposed to. So we're not sure why it wasn't on the plane. So for all the inconvenience, I will pull up your reservation and I will issue you some miles to your account.
Thank you so much.
And I will find out about your luggage, see if we can get it delivered to you.
Thanks. I'll be here.
All right, thank you.
Bye now. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Just after 3 p.m. that day, things looked really hopeful. We saw the bag move slightly around the property, and I started to get emails to the effect of, hey, your bag's out for delivery.
Alrighty, so I got your bag set up for delivery, and it should be there shortly.
Just because I'm in between meetings and taking care of the kids and everything else, do you know if it's like, are there multiple stops? Is it a company that's going? I'm just trying to get a time window, you know?
So the company we use is same-day delivery. They do all the other airlines as well. So it will be multiple stops. They will give you a call before they do the drop-off.
Okay.
And once they give you a call, you can tell them to put it somewhere safe, and they're able to leave it, and they'll send us a picture as well.
Okay. All right, I'll look for that phone call, and you said I should expect the call approximately when?
So they don't give us a time frame. I put the pickup for 4 o'clock. They should be here shortly to come pick it up. So, they typically do what's closest to furthest.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say if you haven't heard anything by 8 o'clock, you're able to give me a call back, and I can do some research, find out where they're at, and track them down.
You said if I haven't heard by 8 o'clock?
Yes, I would give them that much time just in case if they have a bunch of deliveries with American, Southwest, United.
Okay.
But I will be here pretty late tonight.
Okay. Fingers crossed. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you. 8 p.m. rolled around. I did not have my bag, but I could see where it was.
Hi, Alaska Airlines.
Yes, we've been speaking about my gun case.
Yes.
You encouraged me to call you back if it had not arrived by 8 p.m. I found it a bit arresting that it might take that long, but here we are. It is 8 p.m., and it is definitely not here. So do we have an update? What is happening?
So the delivery company has your firearm. Give me 1 second. Let me call them and find out where they are.
Yeah, because I got an email up to that effect like hours and hours ago.
They sent you an email saying that they were on the way.
Yes, that email came at 3:12 p.m.
Gotcha. Okay. Give me just a few minutes. I'm going to give them a call and find out where they are. So let me definitely give them a call since it's been a few hours.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye now. Again, I already knew where they were. I've known where they were the whole time. I was watching the bag. Hello?
So I just spoke with the delivery guy. He said he has your luggage. He is caught in some traffic. He said he did pick it up not too long ago, so they didn't do the original time that it was supposed to be picked up.
Great.
But they said probably another 45 minutes. I apologize. I wish I could have given you other news.
Okay, I will wait for it here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye for now. I want to be clear, I'm not accusing any of these people of lying or being malicious. Their systems just don't show them accurate information. I could see the bag was moving, and then I got a call from the driver. Hello?
This is only you calling about your luggage delivery for later on tonight.
Yes?
I'm going to be delivering your luggage within the next hour and a half. Would you like me to leave it on the porch or ring the doorbell?
Good God. At that hour, you should, I guess, put it on the porch.
That's why I call you, to see what you want to do. Okay, thank you. I'll send you a picture when I do. Thank you.
Thank you. And those of you who followed along with the thread online know how it wrapped up. Like, yes, ultimately, I was the one who signed off on them, like, just dropping it on the porch. I was curious if they would do that with a firearm, no signature, and that's what happened. Thankfully, everything was fine. The luggage was safe, the gun was in there, the laptop was in there, nothing was broken. But this just goes to show you it's an interesting process and how stressful this would have been for me if I didn't have the tracking the whole time. Like, I would not have been cool with this outcome if I wasn't eyes on the gun case the whole way it moved. AirTags for the win, baby. Also, holy policy violations. Good God. Indeed. Luggage left on the front porch at midnight. And now, of course, I told the guy, like, yeah, dude, it's fucking midnight. I don't want you ringing the door and waking up the whole goddamn house. But ultimately, I was pretty calm. It was a peaceful, smooth process for me because the fact that I knew where the bag was the whole way, right? Now, there's other things I've talked about in terms of preparedness and thinking ahead. So in addition to tracking the luggage, it's rugged, hard-sided luggage. It's locked. I also have a lot of privilege, like not just who I am, but like with the airline. So they're going to take me seriously. So I had a little bit less worry than the average bear. But I want to keep hammering these kind of points because of the value with that AirTag, man. If you're not doing it yet, let this video really speak to that fact. I was able to do so many things that I couldn't if I didn't know exactly where the bag was. Right off the hop, I had a video call scheduled that day. Kara in federal prison, my friend Kara, like, we can schedule video calls once in a while. It was a tight schedule that day, but I was like, I'm going to land, I'm going to get the luggage, going to, get on the call with you, then Emily's going to pick me up. If I didn't know where my bag was, I would have been like running around the airport and dealing with like looking on the belt, looking on the oversized belt and yelling at people and like, but I could tell. I just messaged Tara and I'm like, my gun case isn't here. She's like, nope, it's in Seattle. So that instant, I just got out of line. I'm like, F all this noise. I'm going to talk to Kara for a while, get that call to happen, then start dealing with my problems. And as I dealt with my problems, I was able to push back, as you saw, against misinformation. Not intentional in misinformation, but like people who don't know. Their systems aren't as updated as quickly. So they would insist, oh yeah, your bag's going to be here. No, it should be around somewhere. I'm like, nope, that's not where it is. I can tell you exactly where it is and when it got there. Having that power gives you a just much more calm demeanor. You can react to people in a way that is a lot more positive. You don't have to start a fight. It just makes everything go so much more smoothly. In addition, I didn't just have peace of mind, I had the freedom to do whatever I wanted with my whole day when I arrived. Again, knowing where your bags are also tells you where they're not. And I knew the bag was not coming anytime soon. So like I didn't have to sit by the house or at the airport waiting on some vague promises of like, oh, it'll be here. I was able to go off and do other stuff. I captured some footage for y'all of a new product that we're going to have coming out on the website I don't mention. I was able to hang out with people at the house. I didn't have to be like at the beck and call of somebody who wasn't about to be showing up anytime soon with this luggage. The exact opposite occurred when I moved, for example. When I left Philadelphia, moved out west to live with Sherry in Montana, right? So I had a moving company. And it's a whole, if you're on the 303 mailing list, you remember this story years ago, right? This was like 2017, I guess. And in October that year, they packed up my West Philly house. There's a lot of stuff a moving company cannot pack up. So my truck was full of liquor and guns. And I just started driving across the country because they said, all right, your delivery window will be next week. So it starts in like 3 days and get out there and like it could be 7 days. So I like hauled ass across the country. I got to stop and see Rance briefly. I got to see my friend Naomi briefly. And I think I saw Blue Night. We had a steak, didn't we, in Billings, right, man? But I freaking motored across the country to be there, like, hey, your truck's going to show up. And as the story goes, if you remember this from long ago, those who remember, like, it was weeks and weeks and weeks. I was just living in an apartment with no furniture, like, on the floor. And the truck, they kept lying. They kept saying, oh, your truck's here, it's in Nebraska. And they kept saying things like, oh, the driver's not updating his log files. Oh, that truck doesn't have a transponder. And in the end, I ultimately learned that the truck had never left the East Coast because we're not going to talk about moving. Geez, look up Brian Krebs and other articles about how bad most moving companies are. Every moving company is local. If you don't know this, there's my tip from me to you. You go with a big name carrier, Atlas or Allied or Global. They're all local. They all just contract to a local truck for a hauler and an agent and a receiving agent, and nobody talks to each other. And a lot of times they'll just sit with your stuff until their truck is like full enough to make economic sense to move. Because F you, buddy, what are you going to do? But I remember being stuck in Montana, changing flight plans and delaying jobs because, like, oh, my stuff's going to come, and it was never anywhere. If I had AirTags at the time, if they existed back then, I would have had much more freedom in my life. So it's not just the peace of mind, it's the ability to conduct the rest of your affairs knowing, well, my stuff's clearly not going to get here, and I'm not going to listen to the lies that someone's telling me, claiming that it is. Now, here's an odd fact, though, and keep this in mind, because if you do put an AirTag in your luggage, which many consumers are doing now, you're aware of this, many passengers do this, there was something I encountered. This was on a trip. Tara and I were coming, it must have been Minneapolis to Florida. We were going down there to some conference where we were speaking, obviously. And we land in Orlando. I've got guns, obviously, so go to the BSO, got to pick up my firearm case, and as I'm waiting at the baggage office, there was another passenger. She was on our flight, and she's really hopped up, and she's mad. She's saying, what are you people doing? I can't believe, how did you send my bag to a national forest? And normally I'm just kind of in my phone scrolling, but that sounded strange. I went, okay, what's happening over here? And I kind of stood a little closer, and she's showing them an AirTag screen. She's like, look at this. I don't know what you're doing, but this is not, how did you put it on the wrong plane? And now I'm kind of looking at her screen. I'm like, missed. That sounds awful. What happened? You know, because you try to be someone's friend, just de-escalate them because they're yelling at some person who can't help. She's like, look at it. Can you believe this? I don't even know where the heck is the Chattahoochee. And I'm like, okay, let's think this through. Minneapolis to, if it was even on the wrong plane, like maybe they sent it to Atlanta because it was Delta, I don't think in the 3-hour flight, they could put it, what if they have to get it into a car and like drive it to a national forest? I don't know if you could even do that. And I thought, I looked at my own maps and I said, wait a minute, look at the jet route. Can you figure out what happened? Most of you can get this, right? AirTags ping off of iPhones, anyone's iPhone. That's why the network is so robust. All iPhones are default opted into the AirTag network, the Find My Device network. iPhones can reach the AirTags in the luggage hold if you're on a plane, right? Because Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz, sub-gigahertz, like, you can reach that. Somebody's iPhone, obviously, in flight, had pinged off the AirTag while the iPhone was probably on Wi-Fi and happened to have GPS signal. Maybe they were right near a window or something and they had a clean GPS signal. So that was the last, and I said, actually, that says last known location 45 minutes ago. And I was like, look, I'm pretty sure this is what's happening. I bet your bag is probably here. In a minute or two, it's going to ping on some baggage handler or somebody else's, iPhone. Just hold out hope. And sure enough, when they started wheeling the case around with my gun stuff on it, her bag was on that case too. It was another Pelican case. A lot of airports just very proactively pull anything that looks like it could be a gun, even though it does not. So again, if you think your luggage is missing and it has an AirTag saying it's in East Jabip, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe they just sent it to the baggage office because the rampers thought it might have had a firearm. Keep that in mind. Now, it was Delta, and I've spoken in the past about how I really liked Delta's RFID integration in their bag tags. If you don't know, all Delta luggage tags have UHF transponders, and they ping off of Delta's own proprietary system in their luggage belts and in other parts around the service areas of the airport. It's pretty good. It's not what I think the future should be, however. I don't think other air carriers should start investing in similar technologies because you just know they're going to build up their own proprietary siloed systems, which will not be as interoperable. The AirTag really is a great solution that would span across carriers and even not just with airlines, because consumer electronics will generally be on the bleeding edge of most technology development. Large industrial sort of proprietary systems, they take a long time to get off the ground, they take a long time in R&D, and sometimes when they roll out, they're already obsolete. I was talking on the internet about this as I was thinking about this video, right? There was a hotel in Japan. I actually asked people, do you guys remember what this? And somebody found me the article, right? So in the Wall Street Journal, they reported on this. That it was the Japanese hotel that had like this, it was a weird robot hotel, right? But one of the things in the room was this assistant named Churi. And it said, guests became frustrated when the hotel's robots failed to keep pace with Siri or Alexa. The laggard robot assistant named Churi, simple hello, how are you, like type conversations it was supposed to be able to have. But guests would quiz Churi about things in vain, like the opening time of a local theme park. And Churi didn't know. And they're like, well, shit, my iPhone can tell me that. Churi was in service, however, they point out, for 4 years. Plenty of time for technology to become outdated. And one of their managers said, many times people get a new phone every couple of years. 4 years is actually a really long time for any piece of tech to just remain stagnant. The AirTags keep updating and iPhones keep updating. It's going to be the best solution going forward. Yes, there are other trackers, by the way, not just AirTags. So Android ecosystem, there's Pebblebee for Android, there's Tile. How well they work, your mileage may vary. I would point everyone to my friend Snubsy. Her channel talks about consumer tech all the time. She has reviews of at least one of these products. How have they worked for you? Tell her, tell me, let us know. I will keep using the AirTags, though, because that's what Tara has, right? Tara has a ton of them. She's an iPhone user. I'm not an iPhone user. I have an Android phone. But this is where the tech is getting really neat in my mind, even for people like me. You might remember airlines used to hate AirTags. I mean, not officially hate them, but like Lufthansa started to say, oh, we're going to ban them. Airlines didn't like them because at first customers were going, look at what I can tell you where my bag is. And they were kind of pushing hard against customer service agents that didn't have the right information. Airlines have now flipped the script. So there's another article. I'm going to tell you about this. It's great. There are airlines now that are actually thinking that the AirTag data is better than their data, or at least could work in concert with their luggage tracking data. And they're asking consumers, do you have AirTag information? Can you tell me where you think it is? Apple is now rolling out a new feature where you can, if you have Google Maps, because Google Maps isn't any, like iPhone, Emily has iPhone, Kimmy has Android, Tara has iPhone, I have Android, but we can all share locations with each other because Google Maps is universal. If you ever share, maybe you do this temporarily with someone, you could say, hey, we're going to this big festival concert, or we're going to be in the city park for the day, we'll share location for 2 hours. Apple, I believe, is planning to roll that out for AirTags. And you can give someone, hey, look at the location of this device with this URL, probably be a QR code too, for the next X number of period of time. Airlines, they're already listing in the article, I'll link it below. Airlines are using that. They're saying, oh man, at the moment Apple comes out with this, we are going to adopt that into our system. I really hope Alaska is very proactive. They all have iPads and everything. I really hope Alaska integrates that. It's a lovely feature, and I will have to bother Tara less. So if I'm flying without her, the start of my journey, I'll say, hey, honey, I'm taking, these 3 cases, ping cases 4, 5, and 6. Can you shoot me the AirTag links for them, and I'll have them on my phone all day. And if something goes wrong, I won't have to bother you. I can't wait for that. I think that's a great solution, and I want to see more of it. The best way they could do this, though, and I was postulating about this, right? If Apple themselves made a little like AirTag base station product, not a full iPhone, but something that would just ping off of AirTags and would say, oh, I just saw this. Imagine a mesh network of those throughout an airline's service, areas. In fact, my friend Kate Redback, she was like, oh, dude, could you imagine an AirTag base station, PoE powered, power over Ethernet, in an industrial encasement? And you could put them all over an airport. You could put them all over postal and shipping networks, for God's sake. That would be a game changer. I would love to see Apple do that, man. Holy cow. Until then, I got to keep asking Tara, hey, you send me a screenshot? I got to talk to a customer service agent here. So that's my shtick. That's my thing. Put AirTags in your cases of luggage, whether you have guns or not. What was I going to give? I was going to give you guys something extra. I haven't done a giveaway in a couple videos now. I had notes. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Something that's coming out soon on the website that I don't mention because, well, we have our Black Friday sale. It's already started, like many people, a little bit early. But there's an idea that an employee of ours, a former employee, experimented with this long ago. He did some YouTube videos. They're still up. The idea of an underdoor tool that you would always have on you at all times. I have one on me right now. It's very comfortable. It's not running down my pant leg. Nope. It's my belt. Yep. You've seen some of it. Some of you have seen this, right? An underdoor tool belt. I loved that plan when he did it. I was like, man, we got to make some of these. And we just never got around to it. I finally got around to it. There's a whole other story I'll tell you in a minute. I'll do a video on that maybe later this week or tomorrow. But yeah, I'll give one away. They're on the website, but if you don't want to try to, get one there, you could enter the giveaway. I still run the giveaways. If you're still signed up, you're good forever. Yes, I love how these came together. They are so fun. I gave them to all my staff members. They're all trying them. They work. Are they the best underdoor tool? No, but they're the one you can have on you at all times. So if you want to win that, go ahead and sign up below. In the meantime, I hope you're having fun wherever you are. If you're traveling for Thanksgiving and any other of the upcoming holidays, hope your bags get there on time. One last thing. If you're traveling, I hope you're not visiting relatives that are like MAGA pilled by watching Fox News or OANN or something. You can silently turn those channels off maybe on their TV. But if you are taking your family members' TV remotes, little fun one from me to you. LG TVs call it True Motion. Roku calls it Action Smoothing. Samsung calls it Auto Motion Plus. Sony calls it Motion Flow. Panasonic calls it Intelligent Frame Creation. And Amazon Fire TV calls it Motion Processing. Have fun disabling that shit when you're trying to watch the game or watch any fun movies with your families. Wherever you are, whatever you do, whether your bags make it or not, I hope you have a very safe and happy holiday. I hope you have very few fights and arguments around the dinner table. I hope everyone loves each other and looks out for each other. Be well. Stay safe out there.